No more candy in Christian schools. Or should there be candy?
The Christian Principles Podcast is brought to you by the Herzog Foundation, but bear in mind that the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts and not necessarily of the Herzog Foundation.
Welcome to the Christian Principles Podcast. I'm Matt George.
And I'm Mark Zockoll. Today, we're going to talk not about candy so much, though that has to be a part of it, because giving candy, I mean, teachers do it. You probably do it. Students definitely do it. But we're talking about gift giving amongst the students, in Christian schools. I feel, once again, loving the content for the new year, and this content takes us back to our roots.
Our roots.
Do you say roots? I don't say roots. I say roots.
I say that to my wife, who's from Minnesota. Her roots.
It definitely takes us back to our roots, because the minutia, this is the minutia. This is living in it. This is down deep, rolling in it. You don't get this everywhere else. Again, this is not something you come into contact with in your educational. Yeah, this ain't no textbook. This is not in the leadership development times. Even the Herzog Foundation, they're not covering stuff like this, folks. This is grade A, prime, quality beef coming to you from podcasts here today. But this is something. It's crazy, because we just talked to Phil Paleo, and you heard us talk about free money for our schools and how that's going to impact our institutions and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right. Okay. This will impact your day-to-day life. This will make friends. This will lose you parents if it's not handled well. And perhaps for you, the handling is completely hands off. Mm-hmm. Maybe your handling is like, we won't touch this with a 10-foot pole. And I would say probably a little bit naive, because I bet your teachers are then. I bet your teachers are doing it of their own accord with their own classroom rules. And that goes some ways and that goes other ways. So anyway, as far as overall thoughts on this today, we are coming up on Valentine's Day, Matt. Happy Valentine's Day early. We got February 15th. It's February 14th coming up.
It's the 14th, yeah.
14th. I don't know why I said the 15th, but February 14th coming up, in 2 days from today when we're dropping this episode. So it's actually during Valentine's Day when this comes to the forefront for me. And this was addressed with me as a student at a Christian school prior to me leading the same school, and further coming to understand why that person asked of me what he did when he asked of me what he did, or when he asked me to perhaps had the rule made about me. I don't know, but we should move along. What do you want to say?
Some needing counseling. It just needs to unpack it. Just let it all out, Mark. Just let it all out.
I feel like you find the need for counseling in everything you hear. That's here or there. But while we're here, and speaking of gifts that we give, let me give to you now, and then Matt give to you in a second, some information that you'll find hopefully very valuable for your school. First of all, you make sure that you are with us on March 23rd at the Restoration Farm in Hartford County, which is Street, in the city of Street, Maryland, which is probably only the size of a street, at the MAX, the Maryland Association of Christian Schools 2026 Administrators Retreat. It'll be a full day. We're going to be focusing on stewardship. We're talking a lot about money. And our keynote speaker, Jameson Coppola, he is the Government Relations Director for the American Association of Christian Schools. We'd love having Jameson come. He will keynote for us. He'll give a devotion for us. Matt and I will host. Lots of groupthink. This is not a sit back and let someone just yell at you time. This is opportunity for interaction. There is, we don't force it. Okay, maybe like one group time we force it. But after that, it's you talk who you want, you want to talk with, you interact with those you want to interact with, you take in what you want to take in, and you get to ask questions. You get to questions for your school, questions which matter for your 1,000 kid school versus your 50 kid school, and Christian brothers and sisters from around the Maryland area, from church schools in Maryland or church affiliated schools or approved non public schools. They're all there. We see some come from Delaware, from Pennsylvania as well. We would love to have you come out on that day. So email us, get a hold of us. Please make sure you save that date. It's March 23rd, it's a Monday, and it's a full day up there on top of Maryland. I also want to point out to you again the Leadership Development Series through the Herzog Foundation, our partner, and this is where they want us to be pushing you, and this is where we want to push you. Remember, you pay for it. You pay to get yourself there, and they'll pay for everything else. I'm looking right now at March 2nd through the 4th, Strategic Stewardship, which of course falls directly in line with what we'll be talking about on the Max Administrators Retreat. But that's from March 2nd through the 4th in Nashville, Tennessee. Sign yourself up. There's probably still space. Get yourself there. And they're going to talk about, I shouldn't try to riff this. Listen here. Herzog Institute's strategic stewardship training is designed to help Christian schools establish sustainable, biblically aligned financial models that advance their mission with excellence and accessibility. Far too many schools operate with structural deficits, relying on underpaid teachers and donor revenue just to keep the lights on. This workshop reframes the mindset and provides leaders with tools to move from scarcity to strategy. Got day 1, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. hotel provided. Day 2, 8 to 6 hotel provided. Day 3, 8 to 12:30. Remember, this is for your head of school, chief financial officer, school board members, finance committee members. You get yourself there. They cover the rest. Great time there. And if you don't want to hear about stewardship, but you want to hear about something else, please go check them out at theherzogfoundation.com and see what else they have to offer you. And remember, tell them that the voice here at the Christian Principles Podcast sent you. Matt, how about the grade link system?
You know, as a host, I actually use GradeLink myself, and I can't recommend it enough. It's been a huge help in keeping things organized and making sure our school's administration runs smoothly. So, if you're part of a school that needs a reliable system, head over to cpp.gradelink.com and see what they can do for you.
Okay, so it's time to now go back and talk about gift giving. Now, specifically gift giving among students. We didn't say this before, other than to read the title, but we're talking about gift giving among students, not amongst the faculty and staff, okay? The faculty and staff, we're going to assume they're adults, they can handle Christmas and
I
whatever
didn't
else
get
is they need to.
mine.
I know.
I didn't get one.
We probably
Oh.
should work on that, though,
Probably
because
should talk about
it's not good when maybe make that a part of your faculty orientation that, hey, remember Christmas time how you felt as a kid when you didn't get XYZ. Like, remember that because it happens as an adult as well. And sadly, it very much does. Okay, I shouldn't say we don't need to talk about that. We should talk about that too at some point. But today, the students. Matt, at your Christian school, is there a policy currently on gift giving at your Christian school?
There is a policy. And I believe I did inherit that policy from
think you did too.
somebody that came before me.
I'm not, as I before me. I think possibly because of me. I'm not sure. It might have been before me. I don't remember, but I wasn't reading the
Eh,
handbook as a kid, even though I signed off that I did.
It's definitely one of those things. It's one of those policies that as you're reading through it, you're like, you know what? This one has a story. There's history behind this policy. This isn't just thrown in there. This wasn't some administrators like, I got a great idea. I got something that's going to really help us out. I mean, not it's a bad policy. I think it's a good policy. But yeah, it's definitely one of the, you get to it and you're like, there's a story behind this one.
There's a story, man. There's definitely a story here. Okay, so your school has a policy. Matt, this school policy of yours, it's focused on students. It's focused on their during the school day, drop off to pick up, and anything that would be delivered for a birthday, for a holiday, anything that would be considered a gift. And what does your policy say? What does your policy ask of the students?
Yeah, so I would say along with the students, it is directed to parents as well, because you're going to get the parents that are going to want to also, come in and love on their kid during their birthday and whatnot. The main heart behind that policy is make sure if you are going to bring things in, there's kind of two steps to this. One, that you are including everyone within the classroom, especially within the elementary grades where, they're in their homeroom, that we're not just singling out individuals, but it's something that's all inclusive. But then Outside of like, cupcakes or those kind of things that we've talked about often on this podcast, if it is a gift or something that it be delivered to the office and be picked up at the end of the day, as opposed to disrupting the day. So it's that kind of general policy that we, you know, keep it as low key as possible, while also, of course, understanding the specialness of the day.
Start with that low key. You got a birthday. A student comes in, and usually, interesting on birthdays, students are giving presents out to everybody that's around them through the form. We've already talked about this through the form of brownies or candy or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Cake, perhaps, is less likely that they're going to be getting things on their birthday from their peers, interestingly. But how do you balance in your mind, before we get too much in the weeds here, if we're going to think spiritually, how do you balance the giving, the celebration of giving that we would want to celebrate in a Christian school with the rule that they're not supposed to be giving out things individually?
Yeah, the big thing that I try to hit on is that we are considerate of, number one, the purpose for school. There's a reason that we're at school, and it's not, on my birthday to set everything aside. And when you got 20 kids and you got 20 birthdays, that's not going to be a point to emphasize is consistency. We have to be able to maintain the same level of celebration for everyone. That's of course going to be different. And to talk about, you got your kids that's, 6 of 9 kids who may not be as celebrated as your one of one. So
Uh-huh.
consistency really the key element that, and we mentioned that if you don't have a policy as a school, that your teachers definitely have something going on. Because of that, I think that point as well. Your teachers want to make sure that they are celebrating every student equally, that they are doing what they can. And if you're allowing for one student to be like celebrated with bouncy houses and everything else, and then another kid comes in and it's just like, oh yeah, it's my birthday today. Like we want to make sure that there's consistency all the way through.
I want to pick up that teacher point. I want to take this off the teacher's plate to some extent. I don't want teachers are dealing with a lot. I want to help them. I want to make it so they don't have to wonder what the school stance is. They don't have to wonder, oh, I got a really tough situation with this group of girls that they're not going to play nice with so and so. It's going to be an issue. I like having this policy in place that allows them to say, hey, listen, this is past me. This is what our
Hmm.
school does to promote unity. We're not going to have just one gift given. If you do have a birthday present, that's wonderful. We're going to make sure that's given after school. We can still celebrate the kindness of the students and the wanting to give nature of the students without having to deal with the distraction, so on and so forth. And so for the teacher, hopefully the teachers see this as a benefit, not a rule which is meant to curtail or be make us seem mean or whatever else it happens to be. But getting down to the rule itself, and you mentioned for elementary, and perhaps our minds go to elementary. It doesn't necessarily have to, though. They absolutely could go to the upper school. So in upper school, the on a Valentine's Day like we have coming up, and my story deals with bringing roses in for the girls in the classes around me. But then there were girls in the classes around them that didn't get roses. Or in other times, a boyfriend brings something in for his girlfriend, and then so and so doesn't feel, or it exacerbates a situation that was there prior. And some of that, real kid gloves handling it. Real, some of that comes in and we miss it. We miss the gift exchange in the locker. Are we gonna go chase that down and tell them to put it back in their
Yeah.
car? Like, some of this
Yeah.
has to be really carefully handled, but the expectation would be that on those days, we save that sort of thing for that secondary student's date after school. Like, do this after school, during school, celebrate being together. It's the same line we would make with their relationships. Celebrate being together, enjoy the time you have with that person uniquely, individually, when you're not in the corporate setting of the school, so on and so forth. There's safety in this. There's
Yeah.
expectation setting in this. There are hopefully more helped hearts than hurt hearts in this.
That's good, and I would throw one other thing in there because 'cause we're talking about gift giving, but the other element of this would be, like, invitations to, like, a Valentine's party or a birthday party or something to that effect. Even the passing out of invitations, like, we strongly urge parents, not just strongly, like, we will not pass them out. If they come into the classroom,
Mhm.
we're not passing them out. We will give them to the child and say, "Hey, at dismissal, you can go outside and you can hand them out as your classmates come outside." And parents have done a pretty good job with that too, just because of that same thing. We want to continue celebrating together. We want to work on character building, and we want to work on these other things that we're dealing with every single day, regardless of the celebrations. You mentioned about high school, like there's going to be, because of the passage of classes and at lockers and everything, that you're not going to catch everything, as you said. But when we're just continuing to encourage, hey, think about others. Think about, how that little one-on-one gift giving or whatever it is, how it affects other people. You've got to be thinking about those kind of things within our setting. And I think our setting, because we're so small and compact many times, not all the time, but many times, it does have a bigger ripple effect that kids cannot anticipate. Parents often do not anticipate, but teachers and the administration have to deal with every single time these things happen. So, yeah, get ahead of the
Mhm.
game, be in control of it as well. I think that's just the other thing. If you can control this, you're helping your community, your school community as a whole, because as Mark said, you're taking the responsibility off the back of the teachers. And I've seen good teachers be proactive in these things, even with the
Yes.
policy.
Yeah,
Even with the
absolutely.
policy, they can say, "Hey, I know we have 12 birthdays this year, and I wanna make sure every kid is celebrated equally. This is how I really want it to be done." And working with parents love that. Parents love that communication. They
Mhm.
know what's expected of them. It's really good. So even if your school policy isn't as thorough as, "On your child's birthday, you must bring in cupcakes at 11:55," whatever it is. You can definitely encourage your teachers, "Hey, we have your back on this policy, so it's not a burden on you. But here are some other ways that you can definitely make it even that much stronger."
Awesome. You bring that up takes me to where I wanted to go and couldn't think of a moment ago. If we floated through the main holidays available to us, right? Birthdays, you nailed that one. Is there a birthday policy at your school? And even think of it this way. Forget the gift giving among students. Do you have a birthday policy at your school, which again helps your teachers? Not one that frustrates and
Right.
limits, but one that helps your teachers understand what your expectations are. Because if you have 20 students in the classroom and you value content, are you going to willingly give over 20 hours of instruction throughout the year to whatever it happens to be? Or are you going to encourage them to make sure that they have a specific time of their week where they have celebrated the birthdays of that week? Or that, think through that, work through that, and then allow the gift giving policy to further augment that, understanding that the teacher's going to have. I think of especially rookie teachers who haven't, again, they haven't been trained on this. This does not come through in education courses, how
Mhm.
you're going to deal with birthdays in your classroom. They probably have from their personal remembrances how they did or did not like birthdays, and they're going to do it their own way until they're reminded of it. And again, that could be quite liberal or that can be quite conservative in their dealings with birthdays. And either one of those could transgress what your mission statement would be. So that's birthdays. We think about Halloween. It's one that comes up during the school year. We've already talked about Halloween can be quite a divisive
Mhm.
event at our schools. Is there going to be a teacher that allows her students to bring in candy for all? Is she going to remember to get on the front side of that and tell the students that, we're not trick or treating in the classroom, we're not bringing candy in? Or is there going to be one who does, and then her class is the envy of the classes around her? Have you
Right.
considered
Yeah.
how that's going to go through? We keep going. We think about Christmas. Christmas is an easy one, where there's presents expected to come to I say easy one in so much that it's easy to distinguish it as a gift giving holiday. So
Mhm.
to the point you made, are our teachers ready? Have you prepped your teachers to think through and come up with a plan for a white elephant gift exchange? that takes care of it. Or, hey, prime the parents, we're not going to have personalized gifts, or we are, but you got to have 20 of them because there's 20 kids here.
Yeah, yeah.
Have those teachers worked to prep those parents? Valentine's Day, the ones that were, this is dropping before Valentine's Day. Have you considered in the lower elementary, in the elementary, maybe even middle school, we see a lot of the Valentines floating around the school that get passed, opened up, and thrown away. Just the paper ones that we go out and get. That is what it is. Again, teachers have a time set. If you're gonna have a Valentine's Day party, or you're gonna do something else. But we do consider this more of a secondary. Will there be feelings hurt? We want to be on top of the policy concerning have a rose bedazzled beauty in the high school, and meanwhile the other girls in her class have nothing. We want to stay away from that. You really, if you don't know this, you really want to stay away from that. You want to try to
Yeah.
not destroy the rest of the girls' academic day
Right.
because someone is touting her rose all day.
Yeah.
Which again, that's not easy. That takes
No.
preparation on the front side. That even consider this. Consider talking to your couples beforehand. A point of leadership with the young men who are leading those relationships, Lord willing. Hey guys, by the way, remember this is what the school asked you to do. Or if the school doesn't have a policy, hey guys, by the way, think about how you're going to make those who are not a part of your couple feel if this is how you present this. And so I'm going to ask you to be very considerate. Be very considerate with how you present this to your special person, with your loved one. And then we've already mentioned birthdays, but then the end of the year and going away present, summertime, forget me nots, whatever they happen to be, have your teachers walk through each of those situations and know what they're going to do. Have you walk through them and know what you would expect teachers to do. And I bet right now, if you don't have a policy, and you polled your faculty and staff members, you would have quite a range of views as to what could or should be done on these birthdays or on these events that probably differs greatly from what you would expect to be done or what you would say you would want to be done. So there's my bet. You tell me. Am I wrong? Am I not wrong? Does your school have nothing and you love the nothingness and you allow each one of the teachers to effectively do whatever they please to do and that's never been a problem? Talk to us. Let us know. Matt, anything else you want to say to wrap this one up?
Yeah, I would just say, apart from policy, another way to be in control of it is have your I mean, build your own school tradition. Like, we provide and make Valentine cards at school,
Mhm.
for everybody. So you don't have to bring personalized ones in. Like we're gonna do that. We're gonna do candy for everybody at Halloween. Like when you're preemptive in a way that just automatically Christmas, I feel like is the easy one because we'll do a Christmas party and like you said, like we'll do a Christmas exchange of something or something. And there's just this understood tradition as long as again it's consistent from year to year, teacher to teacher, just so that everybody understands the expectations. That just makes it that much easier and that much stronger to deal with.
I don't want to lose that what you offer up as tradition because we've celebrated that before. We should celebrate that again. Think about giving every one of the females in the school a rose that day, making sure that there's a bouquet on every teacher's desk that has enough flowers in it for every one of the ladies in the classroom and celebrate what that is, celebrate the love shared, express why, offer thoughts from the PA system as to why this is done this way. Get the young man involved with it. That these things would be beautiful. These things could be, if considered and prepared for, what a wonderful opportunity to reflect Christ in these situations.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our Christian administrator spotlight. Going out to Daniel Beckering. Now, Daniel happens to work at Southwest Christian High School in Chaska, Minnesota. Chaska, Minnesota. Now,
Jessica.
Daniel returns us to the list of schools who had a teacher of Herzog Foundation Teacher Excellence Award in the school. They have one of those teachers in their school. So, Daniel, he is the head of school there at SCHS and or SWCHS, excuse me, and we are excited for him. So, Daniel, Well, I'm going to go ahead and pray for you today, actually. And I hope that your gift giving policy is well in hand. Father in heaven, I thank you for Daniel. I thank you for what he is doing there at SWCHS. Lord, you have a plan. You have a will and a way for each of us to glorify you. You've created us in such a way as to complement the body well, the body of Christ well. And I do ask that Daniel today is able to do so, that he's able to fulfill the role that he was called to, the job description he expected, or that he has been able to create for himself there. And in your will, way, and time, show Christ as best as he can to those around him. And if he gets a chance to review his gift policy to make it stronger or to destroy it, whatever he needs to do there, bless him in the effort. Well, thank you for it. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Matt. Well, don't forget to get Jenny something for Valentine's Day, okay?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully by the time you re-listen to this, you'll have a couple days still
There we go.
and we'll be good to go. But folks, we've blown past our 100 subscribers on YouTube. We're thankful for it. We are well on our way to 500 followers. Our goal for the 2026 year will be into season 3 as of August. So we're hoping to be there by August time. So help us out. Pass this along to a friend. Please let them know that we are here. Hopefully you'll see us at the March 23rd Christian School Administrators Retreat there in Harford County, or sometime else. Reach out to us, talk to us. Our website's up. We're loving life. Thanks for going with us today.
We want to thank you for listening. We're honored that you spend this time with us each week. Our heart is to bring you practical conversations and resources that really serve you as a Christian school leader. One of the best ways you can help us spread the word is by leaving us a review and sharing the podcast with other Christian school principals you're connected with. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Join the conversation and share any posts that resonate with you. Every share makes a difference in helping more leaders find encouragement and practical tools. And remember, the podcast is just one way we help. We also love serving schools through speaking and workshops. Our keynotes and sessions are designed to give you actionable strategies you can take back to your team and implement right away. If you'd like more details, just send us an email at info@christianprinciplespodcast.com. We'd love to connect. Until next time, thanks for joining us on the Christian Principles Podcast.